Hi everyone, my name is Katie Carney and this is my Flosstube number 37. It's January 3rd, 2021. Can you believe it? We made it. Um, I have a lot of new followers. I think I've had over 50 in the last month. I don't normally follow my views or like how many followers I gain or lose. You guys are all my friends, and I figure it doesn't matter how many of you are because we're all friends. But my whip parade that I did a week ago now, I guess was really popular. I have more views on that than I think I have on any video except for my first one. So, to all my new friends, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. This is a low budget floss tube. I have a $20 ring light and two windows. And I do have a very nice device for recording now. I did not pick it out. I did pick it out. But I never thought I would get it. It was a Christmas gift. So I do think that the quality on my last video was nicer. So I'm glad that that's the one that you guys all came in on. I thought since I had new followers, I would introduce myself again. So, again, my name's Katie Carney. I'm 34 years old. I live in Scranton, Pennsylvania. My background is in history. I have a degree in straight history, but I specialized in colonial American, and then I studied American history in general. Although my thesis was on the fall of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and I almost dropped out of college because of it. Fun fact. I have a boyfriend. We've been together for almost 4 years. He's the best. I do mention him on here. He does not have any social media at all and would kill me if he found out that I had a YouTube page. Not his thing. And he's an electrical engineer. Excuse me. I live with my grandmother. Her name is Frances, and then people called her Fran, and her mother called her Franya, and so my grandfather started calling her Fra, and I call her the Fra because she should have a the in front of it. I talk a lot about her. In older videos, you'll see something called Fun with Puzzles. During the pandemic, she and I did a 3,000 piece puzzle, and we filmed every 2 weeks, usually the same week as my Flosstube updates. And actually, I'm very excited. I had the idea / did not give her a choice. We're going to do, it's going to be called, I don't remember, but the tagline is Through the Eyes of the Fra. So we're going to take family pictures, and she's going to tell stories about like her parents and her aunts and uncles and her siblings and then her children and then people from these pictures that she knows, so that that information is not lost. She has done a ton of genealogical research, but I wanted it to be in her voice and not just like written in binders. And selfishly, this is for me, just like the Fun with Puzzles videos are for me. It's so that I have that visual and sound aspect. My mom passed away several years ago, and I didn't like take any video of her because that really wasn't a thing at that point. So I have some like VHS recordings of her when I was a really little kid, and then I have pictures, and then I don't really have any of like her voice in the last couple years. So that's why I do that. Anyway, so like I said, I live with the Fra. I do not work in history. I worked in museums out of college for a couple years. I graduated when the economy went down in '09. It was a terrible time to get museum jobs. I did have a couple use that degree. I moved away for a little while, and when I came home, I started working for a social services agency called United Neighborhood Centers, and I had a bunch of different jobs there. I worked with English as a second language students, I worked in neighborhood revitalization, and after 4 or 5 years there, I left, and now I work for the American Wine Society, and I'm the member services manager there. It's wine like you drink. Ironically enough, I don't drink. Alcohol does not agree with me, so I've really stopped drinking. I'll have a little bit here and there, but We'll be at these conference with 700 winos, and I'm like, oh, can I have some coffee? Thanks. I also have a pretty hard and fast rule about drinking at work. I've been cross stitching, so I have always loved crafts. My mom taught me how to knit and embroider and stuff when I was a kid, but I never did a ton of it. I'm an 18th century reenactor, so I did do particularly knitting at events. And then I was a prolific knitter, sweaters, socks, baby clothes, blankets, the whole thing. And then a couple years ago, I just didn't want to anymore. It just wasn't holding my attention. And I had a old cross stitch blanket kit. So I pulled out some floss because, like everybody else in the world, I had some floss, and I started cross stitching on a Saturday just because. And I have cross stitched pretty much every day since, and it's been about 18 months. I dove in, I love it. What I like about cross stitch as opposed to knitting is knitting I don't have to look at. I can be paying attention to the world going on around me. I can really watch TV. But with cross stitch, I really have to pay attention to that. I can't focus on anything else. I just have to focus on that. So particularly in the last year, it's been really helpful for me to have that thing that has to turn off everything else that's going on. So that's a little bit about me. I have a brother, and my dad is still around, driving me crazy. He's not in my bubble though, so I don't see him much. So I just wanted to reintroduce myself and welcome my new followers, and then for people who have come in not from the beginning but have been here for a little while, I thought maybe you had some questions. You can always ask me questions. I'm a pretty open book. My life is incredibly boring. So now I'm going to tell you, I do like to, keep you guys in the loop of my life. So I'm sorry that this intro is long today, but Christmas happened. Christmas Eve stunk. I'm not going to tell you what happened here, but something happened here. We had a nice dinner, my grandmother and I, and then I did go to church. There were only 15 of us in the church, plus the 2 priests, the cantor, and the reader was actually the nun for the church, so there wasn't even like readers from the public or anything, and I didn't get communion. I cried from the moment I walked in the door until I left. It was beautiful. I'm so glad I went. I was feeling emotional for other reasons, and then the release of being in church seemed to release a tidal wave of tears. Also, snotty mask. So I've been out in the rain in a mask on and it's gotten wet. Snotty mask, not good. Don't recommend. Highly do not recommend. And then Christmas Day was great. Usually by the time we get to Christmas Day, I'm so exhausted I can't function. And this year, I slept until about 7. I made a nice breakfast for Fra and I made us a great lunch. Mark came over, gave me my gifts. He took a nap on the couch. I got a bunch of cross-stitching done with Fra. Went to bed early. I had a great day. New Year, the week in between, I worked. I did take 2 half days. Y'all, I'm burned out. I need a couple of days off from work. I think I'm going to take a couple days in January. New Year's Eve, I went to bed at 10:30, which was awesome. And then I had a new start on New Year's Day, so that was good. Today's the 3rd. Yesterday was Saturday. I had to run into the office to drop off my laptop because I'm going into work tomorrow. And I was also going to get my paycheck, but it was wrong, so I still haven't been paid, but whatever. I was leaving, and so I work in downtown Scranton, and I'm in an office building, and the block I'm on has some restaurants, but there's a pandemic, so one of them has closed permanently. 2 of them are only open during the week. One of them doesn't open till 4. And then the city buildings on that block, it's definitely closed. It's a couple law firms, they're definitely closed. So it's like a dead zone on Saturday. So come down the steps, because we're up on the 10th floor and I like to take the steps down. And I come out, and there's a man on the other end of the block, and he like smiles. So I smile because I try to be nice to people. And then he starts running towards me, and I was like, so I like unlocked my car door. Luckily I was parked right out in front, and by the time I got my door open and got myself into the car and the door closed, he was already at my window, and I'm like hitting the lock button, and he's trying to get in my car with me. He was homeless. He wanted money, which I didn't have. And eventually I was like, I don't have anything. And I wouldn't open the door, obviously. And he left. I've seen him in downtown before, but I have to tell you guys, I was like crying on the way home. I'm someone, like, I take long walks by myself. I'm not someone, particularly in Scranton, I feel very safe in Scranton. And so to have that kind of jarred yesterday was a lot. A friend of mine ordered me mace. It will be delivered tomorrow. And I am going to start carrying. I used to carry mace, and I'm going to start carrying it again. A lesson learned, carry your mace, and be careful. You know, as a rule, I try to smile and at everyone and tell them hello at everyone, whether you're the richest of the rich or down on your luck or obviously have mental health issues. I try to say hi to everyone, just because I feel like when I'm having a bad day, it means a lot to me when people say hi. And I walk a lot, so I see a lot of people. And I guess the worst part of this is if I wouldn't have said hi back to him, would he have thought that would he have come running up to my car? I mean, he ran like a half block, and anyway, I'm not going to let that stop me. I am still going to say hi to people. I'm just also going to carry mace. Okay, 12 minutes in. Let's talk about stitching. Sorry about that long entrance, but I did want to introduce myself. So, last time, we did the whip parade in the last one, but this time I'm just going to show you everything I've worked on since my 2 weeks ago video, and like my haul and my plans and stuff. So I did make notes. I'm a little over halfway through my planner. So this new device I got, it's a tablet laptop, so I need to figure out how to do like a digital planner on here. I'm interested. Okay, so I have 2 finishes, one of which I had started 2 weeks ago, and it was the 1986 Prairie Schooler Santa. For those of you who are new here, I work on smalls in the morning for usually about between 15 minutes and a half hour before I get dressed for the day. And then when I watch television with my grandmother in the evening, which I have been making it a point to watch more of with her, I work on smalls because I can do them in hand. So this is my second Santa, and he's so cute. I started this right before my last video, and then I finished it on the 26th. So this is the 1986 Santa, which was the year I was born, and this was my last 2020 finish. I really liked the base of his coat with a little bit of green. I thought that was really cute. So this is 1986, and then next I will go backwards and do 1985 because I didn't know they weren't in order. They're not. So I read patterns like a book, and this is like this because it's the big one. I do have 5 Prairie Schooler doubles that I am willing and happy to part with for $5 each, including shipping. If anybody's interested, either comment or send me an email or message me on Instagram, and I'll tell you which ones I have, because I obviously don't need doubles. So, and this is in my Pretty Southern bag, and this is just my Prairie Schooler Santa bag. It's small. Okay, and then I have another start and finish. So when I finished that Santa on the 26th, I did not want to start another one because I didn't want it to be half in 2020 and half in 2021. So I pulled out from my, actually the whip parade made me do it. I pulled out from my box of whips Autumn Royalty by Lindy Stitches. There we go. So I have already completed Lord of Gourds. And what I did was her patterns, they're just in this little bag, and I just stuck my hand in, and whichever one came out is the one I picked. And I ended up getting the Prince of Pies. This was the perfect pattern because it's actually it's pretty easy because the pies are just little boxes. So this is on 14 count. Oh, hold please. The Santas are on 18 count oatmeal from the big box stores, and it's the called for DMC. This is on 14 count fabric flare. The color is Historic Beige, and it was in my stash. I bought the kit from her website. So it was the bag, the fancy floss, the pattern, and then some finishing stuff. So here are the ugly now, but beautiful, really, flosses. Two things that I have discovered. One, Concord is this lovely purple color. It's a great color. And I have a new favorite DMC. I have so many favorite DMCs. 823 is this gorgeous navy blue. And it's just, it was like this great blueberry navy. And I love it. I would love to do like a Quaker in that color. Anyway, here is my start and my finish. So this is Prince of Pies. So the letters are in, I think it's Weeks. Yes, it's Weeks Molasses. And I gotta tell you guys, because I chose to do this on 14 count, I didn't even think about it. I'm probably gonna be short like by just a tiny little bit of the molasses. I think what I'll do is, if I don't have enough, I think is it 889? Is that great dark brown DMC? I'll probably use that. But so I still have Count of Candy. So I might try to get through all of Count and then see where I am, and maybe, do the candy color in a different color. We'll see. But because this is all I have left, which is only like, I don't know, not a lot. Those are the colors. Here is my finish. Lord of Gourds. Love it. Oh, why did I say Lord of Gourds? I finished this one a while ago. Prince of Pies. Prince of Pies is the one that I finished yesterday morning. This is my first 2021 finish. And you can see there's a lot of that navy in the pies, and I just think it looks great. So, one more to go. I like the fabric flare, but it really frays too much for me. I got it from like a stash unload. I probably would not go out of my way to order it again though. So this is going away again until I'm probably gonna do another, well, I'm definitely doing another Santa now. That'll be in my plans. And then I have another smaller two, and then I'll probably pull this back out. Because I'd like to put the fancy flosses away. Okay, so I have, should we do new starts and then keep going in whips? That's what we'll do. I have 2 new starts. I said in my last video it was time for Christmas stitching, and my Christmas Day start was Christmas Spirit. This is by Lavender and Lace. I am doing a sal with Vanna Pfeiffer. She started a Facebook group, and it is the BAP Christmas sal or something like that. So I love this. I'm using the called for DMC. They're so pretty. I have the Krynic. I purchased it. I had it in my last video. I have not been able to find it since, but it'll turn up. And then, so what I did was I started this on Christmas Day and I worked on it until I finished the bow. And then after that, I decided it would be my Saturday stitch. So I worked on this until I got the bow done, which took a day or two. And then yesterday I did this part here and this part here. Wow, it is pretty. I love it. So what I decided to do was after I did this side first, and I was definitely off by like 1 in some places and half a stitch in another. So what I have decided to do and what I did over here was I am doing 10 by 10 blocks, which is not typically how I stitch. I need to do something about the fraying, but it seems to be the only way that I'm going to get through this without horrible mistakes. So the 10 by 10 block seemed to work for me last night. I will try it again next Saturday and see where we go. My plan for this is to do, so I'm going to finish to here and then I'll come back over to this side. And my plan is to try to just go back and forth until I get to Santa. And then this will probably take me all year, if not longer. We'll see. I have no concept actually of how long this is going to take. It's my Saturday stitching for now. Because of the pandemic, I don't have anything to do, so I have lots of time on Saturdays to stitch. I got a couple hours in yesterday, so. Speaking of Saturday stitching, I last night went downstairs to watch The Great British Bake Off with my grandmother, like we have been watching. And I pulled this Shannon Christine design out. And I worked on it for the first half hour of the episode, and I hated it. It doesn't look, the actual stitching doesn't look terrible, but I put the first, you can't see it real well, but I put the first back stitching in, and it looked awful, and I knew it was never going to look good. So this was going to be an exchange with my friend Jen. We've decided to do something else because I was really not happy with this. So it's the second thing I've ever tossed. So I tossed that, and then I have tossed the first project I ever worked on, that baby blanket got tossed. So it is what it is. And also I couldn't save any of that, like, because of the way the letters were, they were part cross stitch and part back stitch, and because the cross stitches were already in, I couldn't like turn that into an ornament. Okay, are you ready for the big new start? So this is a sal that I'm doing with, so Sarah K Stitches on Instagram and Made by Michelle McGraw, both here and on Instagram. And I have started a sal called A Sparrow Among the Lilies. And it is with both Heartstring Samplers, Consider the Lilies, or His Eyes on the Sparrow. And actually, right before I filmed this, I saw that Quirks and Stitches, Jen Lee, and her mom, who I follow both of them on Instagram, so I'm really excited, are starting Consider the Lilies, and they use the hashtag. So I hope that if you all start either project anytime, that you'll use the hashtag. I'm following it on Instagram. I love seeing when people are working on it, and like, what I find really interesting is where everybody starts their projects. Michelle started in the middle. Sarah and I are both left-handed, so we both started in the left-hand corner. But I'm a border stitcher and she started some of the motifs already, so. Yay! Oh, I made a new bag. So this is pre-quilted. Wow, there we go. I was like, it's not that neon. It doesn't really look like that. So this is pre-quilted fabric from Joann's, and then just binding that I got at Joann's. And then if you buy a half yard, it's enough for a good size bag and a notions pouch. So I made a notions pouch. Hang on. You're gonna have to see my back end because I gotta get the floss. Hang on. Here are the flosses for Consider the Lilies. These are the fancy flosses, but there are for the weeks, which apparently there is a great weeks shortage. She gave me some classic colorworks, which is fine. And then I made myself a little tag just because. And then I started this on New Year's Day, and I stitched a good amount, not a huge amount on New Year's Day, but enough. So this is Consider the Lilies. And here is my start. So this is the page 1 border. This is on 36 count Winter's Brew, which I did not know. It's an R&R. I had to email Dreama, who owns Needlework Corner or something like that in Baltimore, who I love. She got right back to me. I was like, I'm really sorry, but she kitted everything up for me, and it was in this beautiful bag, and I had literally no clue what the fabric was. So, like I said, I am a top left starter, so it's like a blanket. When it's in the hoop, it sits on my lap like a blanket. But so that's my start. My plan is to work on this for the rest of the day, and then it's 24 pages long. And I decided if I can get like a page-ish done every 4 to 6 weeks, it should take about 2 years. So that's my loose goal, is to finish this in 2 years. I'm using one thread over 36, over two strand, one strand over 2 on 36 count. So it's a little, it's not puffy at all. I think it looks fine. I'll show you again. I think it looks great, actually. So far I'm loving it. I hope that you guys will join us, and I hope that you look forward to seeing a lot of this. So when I finish this first page, I am probably gonna pull out Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. And then I have another whip. This is an Auriga bag. So this is also, remember what I don't remember if you remember what I said in my last video about Teresa Koget's pattern does not have like that gray line of overlapping. Consider the Lilies has 3 extra stitches, and big help. So thank you, Beth Twist, for that. So my next whip is Heaven and Nature by Teresa Koget, and I started this sometime before Christmas, and I'm still not done the first page on this. I am using a mix of the Called For Fancy Floss and DMC. Well, I subbed DMC in. I do have quite a bit done though, and I'm pretty close. There's, I'm done here, and then I need to fill this in. So, almost on the first page. So that's Heaven and Nature. Again, it's on 40 count. I really like it. It's cute. Cute. Definitely could have been my BAP Christmas project. Probably gonna say that every time I pull it out. So those are my whips for the last 2 weeks. I got a lot of stitching in, but they're all, they're mostly pretty big projects. So it's, I feel like it's not a ton of progress. Sorry, it's very dry in my house. Okay. Where are my list? So I went over my whips. I don't have a ton of haul, but I do want to show you what I have. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up. A friend called me on like the 28th, and I didn't answer because I was watching Great British Bake Off with Fra. And she sent me a Facebook message, and she's like, hey, can you call me back? And she was cleaning out her storage closet, and she has a sewing machine, and do I want it? Now, normally I would say no, because I have a sewing machine and I don't need two. But I was like, well, you know, mine did just break. And Mark's mom had to fix it for me, so maybe I do want a sewing machine. Well, this needs cleaned pretty bad. It's been in a closet for a long time. But, it's a quilter. Okay, it's really heavy. So, it needs like magic erased and lots of cleaning, but that's fine because it's a really nice sewing machine with all the accoutrement, and I did not have to pay for it. So I am going to send her a gift card as a thank you, I think. And I'm thrilled. I'm very, very excited. So that's a big piece of haul. I'm looking forward to getting that cleaned up and seeing what quilting on something that is meant to do some quilting, unlike my machine, which is not. And then what else? My grandmother's brother sent us a Christmas box, which was so sweet. He got married this year. He sometimes watches, so hi Uncle Ted, hi Betty. And he sent me a multi-use flashlight for your car, and it's like got that thing so you can break the window, and it's really bright, and it's got like the emergency button so it'll like light up really bright. Where was this yesterday when the guy tried to get in my car with me? Guess what's going into the slot right on the side of the door? Thank you, Uncle Ted. Let's see. Sorry. I forgot that I ordered these. They came yesterday. So it's 2 bags from Pretty Southern, Linda Jo. So, very pretty. And then this one is by Cricklewood Crossing, and she actually put a little floss in there. Thank you. Fallen Leaves, my favorite color. But I got this one. I had been eyeing it. And then after the debacle with one of the Etsy sellers, Etsy sent me a $10 gift card, and she marked these down. So I think it was like $15 after all that. So I got this, and I love that it's got the Christmas music. Love it. Then I decided to try some sulky threads. I got the Christmas colors that go with hands-on design, and then these are just like grays and blues and black. So I will report back. I was made by Michelle McGraw, enabling me all the time, but I got these are 2021 like tags to put on the ornaments I make for Fra this year. I got 100. If anybody needs any, let me know. And then I got for Christmas from my dad and my friend Susie some used great books. Teach Yourself Foundation Piecing. Irish Chain in a Day. I love this. And Small Quilts. And then my block of the month from Missouri Star Quilt Co. came in. And then I have discovered, so the reason I made the Consider the Lilies bag is because I discovered this was a remnant from Joann's, and I made 2 bags out of this fabric. Turns out that they're too big for me, so I'm giving them to Sarah from Sarah K Stitches, because I have a box that my project bags have to fit in, and if they don't, I won't use them, so I'm going to pass these on to her. But then I got this, and then I have like 3 more to make. And I made Jen one that I need to mail her. So I've been a busy little sewer also. I really like the pre-quilted bags, or pre-quilted fabric. It makes my life very easy. Now, I don't know how many of you have gotten this far. As with all my videos, I was a little bit all over the place. But I do want to thank you all for being here and do a small giveaway. So I did do the Black Needle Society Advent box, but I opened it all in one day, so I didn't show it to you all. But it came with 3 charts, and one of them is this one by Michelle Bendy. I know I'll never stitch this, so I would like to pass this on. If you are interested in this chart, please just leave me a comment. Ideally, you would be subscribed, but if not the end of the world. I just think it's easier if you are a subscriber. So please, please, please leave me a comment if you would like this. And I will give this away probably I'm assuming I'll film in 2 weeks unless something terrible happens. And then just quick, my plans that I've kind of already gone over. I am going to start tonight the 1985 Prairie Schooler Santa. I will work on that until it is done. And then when it is done, I am going to start. Galliana did a freebie Christmas pattern, and it's this one. And Jen and I are going to exchange, and I told her that my fabric and floss wouldn't be a secret for long, and they're not. I am going to be using, I love this fabric. This is also from the Black Needle Society box, but it is an 18 count piece of Ada by Picture This Plus, and the color is Mirage. And I am going to be using, also from that box, Color and Cotton Dracula. I hope you like it, Jen. So after I finish that Santa, that's next. After I finish the first page of Consider the Lilies, I am pulling out Lady the Flag because it has been far too long since I worked on her. I actually put all of my whips in my box in an order so that I touch them all sooner rather than later. After I work on Lady of the Flag for however long, I will pick my dad's birthday / Father's Day present back up. I hope that you've all had a wonderful holiday season. I hope that you're starting 2021 full of health and happiness. Thank you for being here with me. I love getting to chat with you guys every couple weeks. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here a while, thank you. Like I said, I hope that you're all well. I'm so glad I get to spend time with my friends. Have a great 2 weeks. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.